All right, welcome everybody. How are we all doing? I'm really excited to get into this presentation today, and I'm really happy that you've taken the time out of your day to learn a little bit about marketing strategy. And I know that it's going to impact your business. The things that we're going to be teaching you, it's a proven process. It's a proven strategy. We've done it for our clients over and over again. I've done it myself, and there's so many people out there who have seen success with this strategy that I'm going to teach you today. So now we're just waiting a little bit for a few more people to join, and we're going to jump right into it. So, let me ask you this: who's excited to learn about this? Once we get through this, you're going to have such a better understanding of how to grow your business online. So I'm not going to keep you waiting anymore. If you haven't joined yet, then you're just going to have to miss the first part. So, all right, here we go. Let's talk about how to truly grow your business through digital marketing and learn how to convert strangers into promoters. So quit chasing down leads and have them starting to come to you in droves. Wouldn't that be nice if you didn't have to go out and make cold calls and get new clients by spending so much money on advertising, but then have them just coming to you naturally because they want your product and service. And that's what we're going to teach you today. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. Who's this presentation for? First of all, it's for anyone who's tired of throwing away money on a website that just doesn't work. I've talked to so many business owners who this is their main frustration, is that they got a website, it looks great, but they're not making any money off of it. So we're going to teach you how to start earning that return on investment. The next thing is, this is for business owners who are ready to see real growth in their business. There's so many people who are content with watching their business go as it is. Well, we're talking about growing, moving forward in your marketing strategies to scale up your business and see that growth overall. And then finally, it's for those who are looking to understand a proven digital marketing strategy that truly works. There's a lot of hearsay out there of what works and what doesn't and what you should do to grow your business. But this is a proven strategy that actually does work. And I hope that you're going to see why that is in just a few minutes. So let's ask you a question right off the bat. What frustrates you most when it comes to growing your business online? And for me, when I first started in business, it was a lot of these things you're seeing right here, is that I'm not generating enough leads. And most of those leads were underqualified. It takes too much time to manage an online presence or digital marketing, or maybe it was too technical to manage, learning those skills to work with software, work with digital ads, or update a website. Another frustration is not getting found locally or in natural search results. Not being able to make enough sales, low social media interaction. Like we all know the importance of having like a Facebook and an Instagram, but how do you get that engagement and people liking your page and continually growing that community? That can be a frustration when you don't see that happening. A lot of people have bad experiences with developers. The market is really oversaturated with people who don't know what they're talking about. They're really good at selling, but when it comes to fulfilling that order, again, we're sitting with websites that aren't earning a return on investment, and that's a problem. Another frustration might be that it's too expensive to advertise. You're throwing away money on ads and you're not seeing any return from that. And then finally, it's just not sure what works. There's so many different answers out there. How do you know what works? And so these are a lot of frustrations that you might be feeling, that I surely was feeling when I jumped into business. So hopefully during this presentation, you might be feeling like this right now, saying, help me, feeling helpless. You've tried so many different things and you're asking for what's the answers? How do I really make this grow? Well, my goal today is to get you feeling like this, happy, freedom. You're leveraging a system that works and you're getting more of your time back so you can focus on growing your business. And ultimately, you're getting control over your digital marketing strategy. So that's my goal today. And what you're going to learn, number one, is a proven digital marketing strategy to quit chasing down leads and get them to come to you. You're going to learn why your current website doesn't work and what you can do about it. You're going to learn the modern buyer journey and how to build trust with your prospects. And then finally, you're going to learn about the 5 elements of an effective online strategy and how to implement them properly. So who am I? My name is Samuel Newdeck. I'm the owner and founder of NeuWeb Marketing. I've been doing this for over 5 years in the digital marketing space, and we're a partner with HubSpot, social media certified, inbound marketing certified, growth-driven design, sales strategy, and marketing strategy. I've taken courses in all these things and applied them to get real results in the last 5 years for my clients. And another thing that we are is we are Infusionsoft certified. Well, in fact, Infusionsoft is now they've rebranded and they're called Keep, K-E-A-P, Keep. So if you hear that term being thrown around, they're both softwares and major players in the digital marketing space. So just letting you know that there's a little bit of credibility there with some of these big industry leaders. So I do know what I'm talking about, and I know that when we get through this, you're going to see that value. Before we really get into it, I do want to give you a little bit of a testimonial from one of our mainstay clients, Patent Michigan Monuments, and they trusted us to come in and do this strategy with them. And before they worked with NeuWeb, Ryan here, the vice president, says we had a very basic web page and almost no social media interaction. But now we have an incredible website that's generating leads and a very active social network. And what he means by that, I put it down here at the bottom, is that they're generating 20 qualified leads a month through their website alone. And last year they did over $80,000 in annual revenue that wasn't there before implementing these strategies. So the reason I put that there is because I want you to know that this does work. Real people are seeing results. So let's teach you what that's all about. So what is this strategy that we're talking about? It's called inbound marketing. Now, hold up. Before you say, oh, I've heard of inbound before, a lot of people have. The term has been kicked around for the last 10 to 15 years, but a lot of people are picking pieces and parts out of this strategy, and they're not really understanding what the strategy is all about. They're thinking, oh, I got to create content, or I got to do this. But let's look and see what inbound really is. Companies across all industries that use this proven inbound method that we're going to talk about see an average growth of between 13 and 16% of annual revenue year over year. And so then this is across all industries, from healthcare to manufacturing to different small businesses to even your big corporate industries that are using this method. They're seeing an average of this sort of increase every year. Now that's growth every year. But here's the thing. Some businesses are making 1% to 2%, while some are making 50 to 60% leaps and bounds in their growth. It just depends on how much of this strategy they already have in place, how they're leveraging it, and if they're doing it well. And the cool thing is that none of these guys have to chase down their leads. Their leads are coming to them naturally. So what is inbound? Let's define this. Inbound marketing is about creating valuable experiences that have a positive impact on people and your business by attracting the attention of your prospects before they're ready to buy. We're meeting these people before they even come to a decision on what product or service they're actually going to buy. And it's one of the best and most cost-effective ways to convert strangers into customers and promoters of your brand or your business. So why does traditional marketing not work? And when I say traditional marketing, I mean your billboards, your cold calls, you're buying your email lists, TV, radio, television ads, those type of things. Those are all traditional methods. And the reason why they don't work anymore is because they are disruptive to people's lives. Think about it. Last time you got a call from a telemarketer, I mean, I've got 2 or 3 today. It disrupted your life, didn't it? You didn't want that person to be calling you and trying to sell you on some sort of insurance scam. You know what I mean? It breaks up your natural flow of your day, and people just don't like that. And when you do that over and over again as a business, you start to get that bad reputation, a bad taste in your prospect's mouth. And that's what they associate with your brand is, oh, that's how this company markets. Some people will say, well, you just have to do more volume so you can get those few sales that are going to, opt into that. But again, you're playing with a bad reputation, and the market is just oversaturated with people doing that old style of marketing that it's just annoying. And the final reason that I really believe that traditional marketing doesn't work is because it's hard to track. You don't know exactly how many people saw that billboard or how many people heard your radio ad. You get estimates and you don't have any hard quantifiable data on who those people are and what actions they're taking towards that marketing goal. Why is inbound different? Because it naturally attracts customers. It doesn't disrupt their daily flow of life. And we're going to show you how they do that when we get into the buyer journey. The other thing that it does is that it adds value and it builds trust with those prospects so that when they come to you, they're already pre-qualified. They already understand, they know that they want your service and they trust you. And it makes it so much easier for your sales team to just close that sale and for you to just provide a really good customer experience. It's easy to leverage. There's so many different softwares and technology out there on the internet that makes it really easy to scale up this type of marketing and do it on a really high level. And the last reason is there is quantifiable data. Every step of your inbound marketing process is able to be tracked through analytics. And so you're gathering quantifiable data on your users, on the people who come to your website, the people who interact with your business, and you're following that customer all the way through the journey, learning about who your ideal prospect is. And the cool thing about that is that you can take that data and use it to innovate and come out with new products and step into new markets and see what people really want from your business. Because who really matters? Is it your business that matters the most, or is it your customers? And if it's not your customers, you're not going to be in business very long. So inbound starts with that customer, that user experience, and gives them the best experience all the way through without disrupting their natural flow of life. So I want to take a second here and show you why your current website doesn't work. And if you can see this right here, let's pretend like this is your website. This is your business. Your website is your business online, right? If you don't have a website, then your business is virtually non-existent to today's consumer. So if this is your business, your website probably looks something like this. You got a whole bunch of links at the top, your logo's here, you've got different links throughout the page and a whole bunch down here in the footer. You might have some nice graphics, but what is all this doing for your business? It's just like putting up a bunch of roadblocks in front of your actual brick and mortar. It's like saying, here's some data, here's some data, here's some data. These are some different things you can do, but don't actually come in here and purchase anything. We're getting lost in all this information. Get rid of it all. We're gonna simplify this and make it easy for the user to choose option A, option B, option C, or option D. You play to their strengths, and it's like taking this business here and putting your own little salesperson out front saying, hey, come right on in, let me show you, what can I help you with today? What is your struggle? What do you need, and how can I help you? And by the way, if you're looking for this particular service, let me recommend this other one. And your website, if it's not catering to the user experience and their needs, then it's not working for you. You don't have that personal connection with your customers. And so the inbound journey flips this on its head and makes it so that your visitors feel like you're making a personal connection with them, you're leading them right where they want to go, and we're not trying to stop them from buying your product or your service. So let's go ahead and go back to the screen share here and show you what the buyer journey looks like, because that is so important to how this whole methodology works. So the modern buyer journey. The buyer journey looks something like this. There's three main stages, and that's the awareness, the consideration, and the decision stage. And everybody goes through this, whether you are just purchasing a shovel to shovel your sidewalk, or if you are looking to buy a car. If you have a problem in your life, this is the process that goes through your head every time. You become aware of a problem, you find possible solutions to that problem, and then you make a decision about how you're going to solve that problem. If you notice here, most customers are not going to talk to the person, to the sales team, or make a purchase until this last stage. And that percentage is well over 70%. And the reason why this is because of the internet. People start their journey online way before they actually want to go and talk to somebody. We're so comfortable pulling out our smartphones and trying to get the answers right away. So let's just dig into these different stages a little bit deeper, and so we can understand them moving forward. So the awareness stage, the buyer realizes that they have a problem, but they've not yet defined this issue in detail. So the search begins like on Google, on Bing. Maybe they see a digital ad and say, "Hey, maybe that's something that I need to think about." Or they clicked on an article or a related article that taught them about some sort of issue that they can relate with, and that's when they're just becoming aware of that problem. So my question for you is, who has the answers they're looking for? Is it you, or is it your competitor? And remember, they're searching online. I mean, we all have answers. I'm sure that almost any business owner that's doing well can answer objections and questions that their clients or potential customers have. But are you online, and are they finding you online? That's the most important thing in the modern age. The next stage is the consideration stage. And at this point, they're now searching for solutions to the problem. And they're weighing those options by watching different videos, reading different reviews, and downloading offers to figure out what type of solution is going to fix my issue. So with plenty of options, who are they going to choose? Again, if they're not finding this information on what types of products are going to meet their needs from you online, who are they going to choose from? There's so many different options for them to go to, and if you're not showing up first, it won't be you. The decision stage is the final stage, and at this point, the buyer is ready to make a purchase. And when they make the purchase, they're talking with salespeople, they're adding products to their cart to check out online, or they're like filling out quote forms and that type of thing. So they're taking that final action to spend their money. And then this is where you want to meet them personally, because you've already done all that relationship building in the first two stages. So who are they buying from? They're buying from the most trusted source based on their online research. And if that online research wasn't focused around your brand, if you weren't providing those answers, most likely they're going to purchase from someone else who was providing those answers. So how are we doing so far? We've covered a lot of information already, but honestly, we're just getting started because that lays the foundation for the inbound methodology, because we're focused on our customers first, because our customers are going to be our best salespeople in the end, and we want to delight them. They're the reason, they're the lifeblood of our business. So understanding the buyer journey and how they purchase is the foundation for the inbound methodology, and providing that seamless user experience that converts those strangers to promoters. So if you are ready, I'm ready. Let's jump into the methodology and find out how we can meet those buyers throughout their journey. This little graphic here shows you the inbound methodology, and you can see that the buyer journey is right there in the center. They start as strangers, they become visitors, then leads, then customers, then promoters of your brand. And that's our goal right there, is to move them through that journey. So how do we do that? We do that through 4 different methods: attracting, converting, closing, and delighting. So in the attract phase, you're going to attract those strangers into visitors of your online content. That content is going to provide a way for them to convert into a lead. And then through the back end process, you're going to convert those leads to customers, and then you're going to fulfill that order and turn them into promoters of your brand. And then they're going to turn around and kick people back into that cycle. So let's take a look at each of those 4 phases and find out exactly what's going to help you grow in each one of those areas. So the attract phase, when you attract more of the right customers with relevant content when they're looking for it. You build your authority in search ranking, you publish your blog post or video content across different social networks, and create ads to increase awareness about your brand with your target audience. This is all targeted stuff. We are targeting the ideal customer with this, because if you target the ideal customer, there's enough of them out there online that you're going to get those sales. You're going to get the right people coming to your brand. But if you're not very careful about who you target and how you target them and what kind of content, what kind of voicing is in your content, then you're going to put off those types of people who are willing to purchase from you. So throughout each stage, you're going to be reporting and analyzing these efforts to stay informed about what's working and where you need to improve. Some of the tools that you will use in this segment is different digital ads, which digital ads aren't technically part of the inbound process, because you're putting them out there, you're paying for them. They're like a billboard, but it's digitally. But it's a very important part if you have the budget for it. However, these other 4 categories can work for you and be virtually a free method of generating that traffic. So video marketing is huge. It's I believe the stat is somewhere between like 79 and 80% of businesses are planning on using video marketing this upcoming year. And as a trend goes, it's getting bigger and bigger. So video is very important. Blogging, creating articles and answering questions and providing that valuable content. And blogging isn't talking about your services or your products. It's about answering things that your customers are going to be interested in. So topics that they naturally search. It doesn't have to be about your product. It can be about just the industry you're in, or about certain things that your ideal customer is going to experience in their everyday life, totally unrelated to your product or service. It's stuff that they find valuable in their everyday life. Your social media presence, creating a community there, and then finally your content strategy overall. If you don't have a strategy in place, if you don't have some sort of content calendar put together, you're doing yourself a disservice, because that planning is half the battle. Once you get it planned out, it's easy to move this strategy forward and attract the right audience. So those are some tools that can be improved in the attraction phase of inbound marketing. And the whole thing is about creating valuable content. Your content creation should drive your business. You shouldn't be spending all this money on buying email lists and putting out tons of ads if you're not creating valuable content. What's the point of sending a bunch of traffic to your website if you don't have things for them to understand and read there? People want new information that's fresh and helps solve their problems. And by making your content the focus, you'll start to build trust with your audience, get found more often, and it's something that can work for you now and in the future. You create a piece of content, it's there. It's done once. And if you write it properly so that it's not time sensitive, that content can work over and over and over again. So it's a one-time investment that continues to attract people to your brand. Converting. This is the second stage in the inbound marketing process. And this is where we convert those visitors into leads. So the point of the conversion stage is to create a lasting relationship with prospects through email, chat bots, live chat, or messaging apps, using call to actions, forms, and lead flows to capture that information of those people who are visiting your site. And using that information in a CRM software, that's a client resource management tool, to personalize your website experience, because you're collecting the data, you're able to improve your website to meet them where they're at, and just give them a wonderful experience during the entire buyer journey. And some tools, we mentioned them just here in this section, are lead flows. So at what point during their time on the site are they going to be presented with a form to put in their email, their name, their contact information, or fill out a quote, or ask a question, that type of thing. These are all ways to capture leads. Your email marketing, if you don't have email marketing in place, you need to. It's one of the highest converting digital marketing tools out there. And you might not believe it, but the facts say that if you email market, you're going to see a lot more revenue for your business. People do open those emails, even though you may think that when you get them, it's spammy. but it's not. It really isn't. If you do it right, you're going to delight your customers, and they're going to respond to that. Your CRM software. If you don't have some sort of software for managing your prospects, when you capture that information, where does it go? Does it go on a note card? Does it come to you through an email? Or does it go into a software that organizes profiles on every single one of your buyers, so that whenever you have to reach out to them or email them or talk to them, make a phone call, that's all tracked. And when it's all tracked, you can always look back and see, did I do this part of the process? Were they happy with that experience? Did we get them the information that they needed? And you can track that whole system. And using that data that you start collecting throughout that buyer journey, you can personalize their experience and make sure you're answering their questions. And just it helps in marketing, it helps in sales, and it helps your support team all the way through. So your CRM software is super important. The other thing is chat bots, having those little pop up on your website or on your Facebook page where you can start a conversation with someone and answer their questions live. That's huge. Lead magnets, so like ebooks, PDF downloads, white papers, giveaways, things like that, checklists. These are things that people are willing to give you their email address in order to get that valuable information. And so if you're not creating lead magnets, some sort of value exchange, you're missing out on a lot of opportunity to capture some information, kick them into an email marketing system, and nurture that lead from someone who probably wasn't going to buy from you in the beginning. But now that you've created some value, you've given them some information, and you've helped them solve a few problems, now they trust you and they're coming back to make a purchase. That's a big missing piece for a lot of businesses, is that lead magnets. And then the next thing, the automation, is automating some of those processes so that your time's not all tied up in that. So it doesn't get so technical. Once it's set up, it's automatically running. It's like a machine. Like I said, leveraging modern software, that automation and data tracking helps solve many issues, helps you stay organized and frees up your time, and also gives you insight into innovation for your business. The next phase now is to close. So you make that deal, and you turn those hard-earned leads into customers. This has traditionally been a challenge for your sales team to take those leads generated by marketing and really sell them an ideal. But if you're doing your inbound marketing process right, the leads that your marketing team hands over to your salespeople are going to be well qualified. They're going to be ready to purchase. They want your services, and so your sales team can take those leads and just say, "Hey, let's go ahead and close this deal. Give me your credit card. Let's get moving." It's that simple. If you've done the rest of the process right, it's not so hard for your sales team to make the sales. And so some of the tools in this area is your sales pipeline, again, your CRM software, your email marketing, workflows, having a defined process for that, and again, automation. If there's any way that a customer can purchase your product or service online without talking to a representative, you've got to make that happen and automate it. So that they have a seamless journey there. It's disruptive, and people aren't as happy to talk to a salesperson. Obviously, you need that one-on-one connection at some point. But if they're willing to go ahead and put in their information online, then make that available to them. Don't withhold that from your customers, because that's all part of that customer experience and what they expect. So define your sales process, and this is something that a lot of companies, when it comes to inbound marketing, have a hard time doing. They need to have a clearly defined process that closes the loop between sales and marketing. Oftentimes we have our marketing team over here and we have our sales team on the other side, and they kind of fight back and forth and nobody ever talks. But it's when those two teams figure out how to seamlessly hand over contacts and know what the other, the left hand knows what the right hand is doing. And you're leveraging a CRM software that everybody's on the same page with, that's how you get a really well-defined sales process and provide an excellent customer journey, converting those leads into buying customers. And finally, the last stage, and this is another stage that a lot of people miss, is delighting your customers. Now, come on, Sam. I mean, that's simple, right? You do what you say you're going to do, and you do it really well. You make them happy with the product. But it goes beyond that. I'm talking about continuing that marketing process after they've made the purchase, after you fulfilled the order, after you've already made them happy by giving them the solution that they're looking for. This is continuing support. So using email and marketing automation, as well as conversations, to deliver the right information to the right person at the right time every time. So after they bought from you, what are you doing to help them along their journey after they purchase? Create video content. Again, use your email system to automate follow-ups for your prospects so that they understand how to use your product. They understand how to contact support. Maybe some other ideas on cross-sells, upsells, problems that they may have, helping them with their day-to-day lives. Again, following up with conversations and surveys. It all adds to that customer experience and creates a memorable interaction with your brand. And when you do that, I've found that people over and over and over again are willing to share with their friends and family and other business owners, people they come in contact with, and they become those big time promoters that we're all looking for. So let the journey continue. Your customers, again, should be your biggest promoters because of the amazing and seamless experience they've had with your brand. So continue to solve their problems and create content just for them. Make it personal, guys. Come on. All right. That was a lot of information, and I think that now we've looked at a foundation, we've looked at the methodology. Now let's get into how we can implement this strategy practically into our digital marketing. So I believe that there are 5 elements of an effective digital marketing strategy. That's your branded content, a website that converts, software and automation, social media, and traffic sources. If you notice this graphic here, it shows a wheel. And if you were to take just one piece of that wheel away, the wheel wouldn't turn right. It would squeak, it would be wobbly, and it wouldn't be a nice smooth ride for the person driving the car, right? But when all these pieces put together, it provides that very smooth customer journey, and the car drives just fine. So let's take a look at each one of these 5 areas and really dig into what's going to be most effective in each one of these areas in converting strangers to promoters. The first thing is your branded content. You want to build value and trust with your prospects. So it starts with buyer personas, defining who your target audience is, what their demographics are, their age, their income, their likes, their interests, what are they involved with. Understand who they are, what they like, how they talk, and define those, write those out. Then put together a content strategy. How are you going to reach them? How often are you going to try and reach them? What type of content are you going to put out? And with that content, do video content. Video is the future. We believe that here at NeuWeb Marketing. I believe it personally. Video content is huge. So plan ways to do video content. Blog articles. Give them some valuable information. Give them some reading material. If they're going to be reading online anyway, why not have them read articles put out by you in your business? And then the last thing is value exchanges. What kind of valuable information can you package into a white paper or an ebook or a checklist that's going to help them solve their problems? Figure that out, do it well, and then ask for their information in exchange for it. Technically, it's free. I mean, they're not giving you anything besides a little bit of information. It's just a little bit of exchange of value. You help them solve a problem, they give you their contact information, and that's it. So branded content. Be the one who is the authority in your industry. The second thing is a converting website. Your content organization and lead generating powerhouse, right? So your website is going to house all this information, and it's going to be that thing that captures the leads and pumps people into your software for your sales teams to then take over from. So conversion funnels, click funnels, you've heard of these. It's setting up a landing page that has an offer, educates, and then a thank you page, and then some sort of follow-up to that. Your website can be set up to answer specific questions and give them an answer. That's a type of conversion funnel. Capture forms. You got to have forms on your website. If you don't have a form on your website for people to contact you, you've got to do that. Most people do, so I'm not going to spend much time on that. Calls to action. Okay, calls to action are huge. We've all got buttons on our websites that say, learn more, get started here, shop now. But those call to actions, how well are they converting? Do you know that? Try messing around with your call to actions. Make them a little bit longer. I mean, if you're asking them to download, let's say you're a roofer and you've got a specific value exchange. It's like a checklist for 10 things that you need to have it ready for when the roofers come to tear off your roof. Okay, so you're helping solve a problem for the customer. They're ready to hire a roofer, but they don't know what they need to do to prepare for that. So your call to action, instead of download now, could be download your guide to 10 things you need to do to prepare for your roofer. I mean, that's a little bit convoluted, but you get the idea. Make it more personal, that call to action, so that not every button on your website's the same. Give them a reason to click it. Landing pages, I mentioned that a little bit before with the conversion funnels. These are pages that are aside from your normal website that you're driving traffic to, that have a specific offer, specific intent and purpose. And then again, your user experience. If your website doesn't look good, it doesn't function smoothly, and doesn't give them a very clear 1, 2, 3 process as they're interacting with it, then you're providing a poor user experience, and that's not good for the buyer who's going through that journey. You lose trust when your website doesn't look great and perform great. So that's the second thing. The third part of this strategy is software automation. Staying organized and eliminating repetitive tasks. Again, your CRM software, everything's organized in one place. Your contacts come through a lead form, they end up in this software, and then they're being tracked throughout their entire journey. Anyone from your sales, marketing, or support team can get in there, see what's happened with them, and provide that great experience. And you can pull information from there into your email, which is the next step here, your email automation, to make it very personal, so that you can automate things, but yet make it very custom to the user journey. It's almost like artificial intelligence. And in fact, some of these softwares are moving right into that space. Personalization, just talked about it. It's the same thing. It's pulling that information and using it. Your sales pipeline, making sure that defined process is in place and it's very smooth. And then your lead management. How do you manage these leads when they come in? What type of content is in your email automation, and what are your sales and marketing people telling them in their conversations? Find a way to manage those leads as they grow and as your business scales, so that it's a seamless experience. And the software does most of that. If you've got the right CRM in place, it does that. So let's move on to social media. A lot of people have social media. A lot of people are even doing it well. So let's just talk about the purpose of it. And the purpose of social media it's to be social. It's to have a conversation, to talk to people, right? And so you want to create a sense of community and brand loyalty through your social media presence. So you can do this, in a variety of ways, through contests, content distribution, pumping your articles out to your social media channels, procuring content from other industry leaders and sharing that, sharing funny pictures and memes, and just letting people see who you are as a business. That's a huge part of social media that a lot of people miss, is that transparency. Transparency builds trust. Don't put a wall between your customers and what happens behind the scenes in your business. If you're doing business right, you shouldn't be afraid to let people see what you're doing behind the scenes. And so be real, be transparent, let down your guard a little bit and let people see into that. Conversations and support. Your social media can be a huge asset to your support team. When you're following social media and you're checking your mentions, where are people mentioning your brand? You can follow tags and different things that people put out. You can see when people are searching for something in your industry or niche, and have your marketing team reach out and just have a conversation with those people. Hey, I saw that you were interested in this. What brings you to be looking into such and such service? And you start that conversation and you start to help them and add value. You're not trying to sell anything. You're just building a relationship. And if you do that well, they'll come to you. It's that simple. And then finally, traffic sources. What's the point of having this whole process in place, having a nice website, having your email automation and your software all in place if you're not having people get to it? What's the point of having a lemonade stand in the middle of the Antarctic? It doesn't make any sense, but you put that in the busy street on LA and you're going to get lots of business. And the difference is traffic. There's nobody out there, but there's plenty of people on the street on a hot summer day looking for lemonade. So get traffic to your website. And there's two ways of doing that. There's paid traffic and there's what they call, quote unquote, free traffic. And the free traffic is what's known as on-site SEO and off-site SEO. So what you do on your website with your keywords, your page structures, your linking, especially your linking structure, that's all what you can do on your website to help improve search results, where you show up in search results. And then there's also off-site SEO. So this is your Google business listing on Yelp and Yahoo and Bing and all these other places where you can list your business hours and who you are. That list management is all part of offsite SEO because it provides backlinks. Another part of offsite SEO is answering questions on forums. So like Quora, if you're on Quora, somebody asks a question, you have your marketing team go on there and answer that question and provide a link back to your website. If people like your answer, that will be a high ranked answer, and search engines will look at that and say, hey, look, here's this third party site that's that values this other site, and they're going to follow that link back to you and say, okay, this is a credible source. And so you'll get ranked higher in search results. And then that other method I mentioned is paid ads, paid advertising, and that's pay-per-click ads on Google, on Facebook and Instagram, Pinterest and LinkedIn now have platforms for doing that. There's just so many different ways to pay for ads online wherever your target audience is hanging out, and not just doing the ads or like not just boosting a post on Facebook, but actually using the ad managers to track those leads and putting what's called a pixel or a retargeting code on your website so that when you are running ads, people who naturally fall into your website or see an ad, they get remarketed to based on the actions they take. So that's another aspect of digital ads that can really earn a good return on investment for your business. And so when it's all said and done, this is what it looks like. You have an inbound marketing machine, right? Once the upfront work is finished and the process is in full swing, you should see a large increase in satisfied customers who promote your brand and restart that marketing process, right? So these strangers are moving into visitors, into leads, into customers and promoters through all these different things we talked about. And you can kind of see where content creation is such a big part that fills almost each step of the customer journey. And so does your CRM, and so does your website. All these things work together. So why is your website not working currently? Your website isn't a brochure anymore. It's a conglomeration of your website, what type of paid ads you're running, what type of software you have in the back end, your email marketing, and just your social media. All these things work together to create a well-rounded experience no matter where your customers are online. So when you have all these pieces that are fit together and running smoothly, you're going to see this sales pipeline, like I showed you, start to generate more and more leads. And it takes time. Inbound marketing isn't something that you publish an article and all of a sudden you got a ton of leads. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you go viral with a video and it works, but that's not typical. So quit shooting for typical, shoot for consistent. When it comes to your content on any part of the strategy, consistency is so important. But and think, don't think in terms of like this week this happened or this month this happened. Think in terms of, okay, this year, these are our marketing goals for this year. Let's try and hit them through inbound. And you'll see that year over year, when you look in yearly terms, you'll see that system start to crank out more and more and more leads. And that long-term game is what we're all playing for. You can get short wins any which way, but it's that long-term game that's going to keep your business growing now and in the future. And that's the point of inbound marketing, is to meet people at every part of that journey now and in the future. So there's a few more things I want to share with you. We're almost done, I promise. But let's go ahead and take a look at just a few more things. Every step of this process needs to be tracked. So whether you're using Google Analytics, you're using tools within a software, or your email marketing campaigns, that data you collect is so important. And you can use it to improve that customer experience, continue to innovate new products and services, and provide a better customer experience the entire way through your business. So if you're not collecting data on your website, you need to know. You should be able to say, I know exactly what the conversion rate is on any given part of my website. I know that 50% of people that hit this page are going to fill out a form. You should know that. You should know exactly how much money your website is going to make you on average every month. If you don't know that, you need to start the inbound process very soon and get those data collection services hooked up to your website so that that's happening. So what are the next steps? How do we do this, right? Let's get rid of the frustrations. We've talked about the inbound process. We've talked about how we can knock out most of these things. I think I've showed you how this can generate leads, how it can generate qualified leads, even that how it can alleviate some of your time. And it doesn't have to be technical to manage. You can have other people do it for you. You can have the software do it for you. It can be very simple, leveraging modern tools and techniques. Getting found locally isn't a problem anymore because you're doing proper SEO. You're putting out new content all the time, and you're saying, look, Google, I'm valid. Our business is valid, and we're helping our customers. You don't have to worry about making enough sales because people are coming to you because they trust you. You're putting out plenty of content on your social media. You don't have to worry about that. Sorry, I can't help you with bad developers. That's just a judgment call. Some people are out there, and you've got to know your stuff. And I hope that this presentation has given you enough information that you can rule that out. You can talk with your developers, say, hey, do you follow these processes? Do you know how to make a good return investment through our website? And hopefully you can weed out those people who have given you a bad experience in the past. And digital ads, the expense of digital ads, I want to address that for a second, because if you've got this process in place, you don't have to spend money on digital ads. You don't. You've got other ways to drive traffic to your website. But if you're doing all those other things right, you should be able to spend a significant amount on ads and have those people convert at a rate that earns a return on investment, so that those ads are virtually free. You spend $500, you get $5,000 back. Like that's what we're talking about. And I just showed you a proven strategy. So if you're not sure what works, you now know what works. So I think we've answered all these frustrations. But the next question is, if you're tired of struggling online, now's the time to grow your business, right? So many people are content with leaving their business the way it is. And if we don't take action to change what we're doing, the results are always going to be the same, right? So if we do the same thing, we're going to get the same results. But if we change how we take action for our business, that could change the results. And if you're changing your action based on a proven strategy, then you're going to get proven results. It's that simple. Where's your time best spent? Think of the 80-20 rule, right? And that states that 80% of the effects come from 20% of the causes. So if you double down on what you're good at, the 20%, because most likely, if you're a business owner watching this presentation, you're really good at making new connections or casting a vision for your brand, or making sales or innovating new products. That's probably what you're good at. If you're watching this and you're probably not a great digital marketer and you're looking for the answers, right? So what's the most logical thing to do? Double down on what you're good at and let us do our 20%, the thing that we're good at, and combine that 80% of results. And that's a 160% increase in producing revenue for your business. So yes, I am pitching you on leveraging the systems that we've put in place to get all this taken care of for you. Because that entire wheel we talked about, those 5 different things, we've got a system that creates all 5 of those for your brand and for your business. So I want to ask you, are you ready to get results for your business? If you've seen value in this presentation, if you've seen how this can impact your business and you're overwhelmed with how do I do all this? There's a lot of pieces that all fit into this. Don't worry about it. What I'm saying is leverage what we do. And here's the NeuWeb system. Get the 5 elements working for your business without having to manage it all. We're going to create the reports. You just provide the feedback. Let us manage your online presence. We'll be true to your brand. We're going to customize it and make it personal, not only for you, but for your customers. So, and then watch your business grow with a customized inbound strategy. And we hit all 5 of these points. Under content, we create blog articles. We create value exchanges. We do a custom photography and video shoots to make that content very personal to your brand. With your website, we do something called growth-driven design, where we take the analytics and we look at where your customers are using your website, how we can improve that process, and do that every single month. So your website's continually growing and expanding and being managed and providing a better customer user experience, which overall adds to more leads coming to your business. We help you implement the right software. We set you up with a CRM system, put together an email automation series, and a sales pipeline so that it becomes a very smooth process for your teams internally and for your customers on the other side. Traffic, we help do on-site SEO and off-site SEO, manage your business listings, and even when you're ready, we do pay-per-click ads. So you're always getting consistent traffic from qualified sources. You're ranking higher in search engines. And then finally, with your social media, we'll help post on your Facebook and Instagram pages content that is relevant to your target audience. And it goes anywhere from just basic posting to complete management. So if any of these 5 areas you're not comfortable with, you can leverage our system to make that happen for your business. Look, our goal is to help you grow. And we know that you want to grow because we all want to grow. We're business owners. We want our companies to succeed, and we want to leave a legacy, maybe for ourselves, maybe for our children. I mean, think about why you're in business, and think about how much time it's going to take you to get there on your own versus leveraging the power that is right here in this system. So where do you start? How do you get this system? How do you get all 5 of these elements working for your business? And really crush it at the inbound process? What I want you to do is schedule a consultation below this webinar. There's a form there. Go ahead and fill that out and schedule a time to meet with one of our experts. You might speak to me personally, you might not. It just depends on where we're at. But here's the thing. We don't work with every single business that wants this system. We only want to work with people that we know we can help succeed. So this is more of an application process. When we schedule this consultation, what we're going to do is 3 things. Number 1, we're going to ask you who you are and what you do. We're going to get to know you. And that's the first step. If we don't know our customers very well, then how are we going to do a good job? So we're going to get to know you, get to know your business goals and what you want to achieve, and see if that's a good fit for our system. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to discuss a strategy for how do we get you into this system and provide that value to your customers. And then the last step is we're really going to dive into your customers and who you're marketing to and how we can reach them. And if we're a good fit, if we decide that your business and our business is a good fit and that we can get real results, then at that point, we'll talk about what it'll take to move forward. So go ahead and schedule that consultation below. I'm not going to take up much more of your time because I want this to be I want this to be simple for you. I hope you've learned a lot throughout this webinar. I'm really excited if you do decide to take that action. I'm really excited to speak with you, and I hope that you are a good fit and that we can move forward. Like I said, we don't take everybody on. That's just we want to work very personally with people. Let me just go back to Patent Michigan Monuments. We worked with them for going on 3 years now, but we've been able to get them to the point where they're generating 20 qualified leads a month, and they sell a high ticket item. So even if we were to generate 1 or 2 leads a month, they're paying for those services with just one sale. And so if they're getting 20, they're making bank on top of that. I mean, $80,000 in extra revenue over the course of 1 year, you can't deny that those are real results. They generate 3 to 5 leads every week. They've got a defined strategy for success. Now they know how to educate their target audience. They can track their return on investment and the revenue that they gain year over year through their software. They have a unified sales and marketing team now because everything's collaborated inside of a CRM software. And they're ranking top of search results because they're doing inbound marketing properly and leveraging our services. This is a good friend of mine named Karen, and she is a home stager. We did some work for her business just a couple months ago, and we built her a new website. We educated her on how to do inbound marketing, and she came back and said, "Look, this website paid for itself within the first 90 days." And to be honest with you, it was within the first month. After just 1 month, we'd already generated 4 qualified leads, and she was just starting. I mean, this is right out of the gate. And that one sale that she made out of those 4 leads more than covered the cost of everything that we had done for her to set it up. So does this process work? Yeah, absolutely. She's generating 3 to 5 new leads every month. She's got a defined strategy for success. She's educating her target audience. She can track that ROI in the revenue stream. She can track customers through her CRM. And again, she's appearing top of search results because she's following this process, and her web presence provides a wonderful customer experience. So let me just leave you with this because I know your time is valuable and you've been here a while, and I really appreciate that. Thank you for coming. I honestly, I hope I've added a lot of value and understanding to how digital marketing strategy really works and how you can grow your business long term. Then go ahead and just schedule a consultation below, and me or one of my team members are going to reach out to you, and we're just going to do a little bit of a free consultation to learn about who you are, what your products and services are about, because we don't work with everybody. I wish we could, actually. That would be amazing if we had the capacity to work with anybody and everybody and get them this system. But the thing is that we want to do a good job. We are customer focused. We want you to succeed, and we can't do that if we're managing thousands of different customers. So this is an exclusive offer. We don't do this with everybody, and that's why we have this consultation. So we can get to understand your business, your goals, and if it's achievable, and if we're a good fit for each other. So if you fill out that form, we'll get a hold of you, and we'll talk through those things. And if we're a good fit, then we can move on from there. So don't want to take any more of your time. Thank you for attending this webinar. I wish you the best in your business, and I hope that this has been valuable, and we'll catch you later.